Premier Daniel Andrews has backed his reopening roadmap despite Victoria recording Australia's highest daily COVID caseload. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is in isolation after his Melbourne office was deemed an exposure site.
The electorate office of Victoria's most senior politician has been closed for deep cleaning. Federal Treasurer Josh Frydenberg became aware a member of his staff had tested positive for coronavirus late Monday night. In a statement, he says at present the staff member is yet to be contacted by Victorian Health and Human Services contact tracers, which would start the process to determine if my electorate office would be deemed an exposure site. However, out of an abundance of caution, I will be isolating until further notice. 1,763 new local infections were recorded in Victoria on Tuesday, Australia's highest daily spike in COVID cases.
Normalise this. It is going to run very rapidly through the unvaccinated part of our Victorian community, and those people who are unvaccinated will be at a much increased risk of finishing up very, very unwell.
Premier Daniel Andrews is adamant the state will stick to its reopening roadmap. New freedoms will come when Victoria reaches key vaccination milestones. 70% of the population is expected to be fully inoculated by October 26, 80% by November 5.
We're on track to meet those targets. We may well be a little bit ahead of schedule, but again, I don't want any sense of complacency to creep in. We've got to finish this off, and that means going and getting vaccinated.
The state government is launching a vaccination blitz of 27 suburbs, which are yet to reach 75% first dose coverage. Suburbs include Campbellfield, St Kilda and Kensington.
Whether it's necessarily at the end of your street, it'll certainly be very, very neighbourhood focused, very, very localised, and we will be reducing the effort you need to go to in order to have your first and your second dose.
Pre-COVID, I had no underlying health conditions and was a reasonably healthy woman. 14 months later, and I feel like I've aged 10 years.
For now, there's some relief for the education sector. Year 12 students have returned to class to sit the General Achievement Test ahead of their VCE exams, before a staggered return for all other year levels.
It's definitely a little weird after spending so long in lockdown, but it's a good feeling to be able to get back and see everyone.
We didn't really get to spend that much time together, but we still caught up online, so it wasn't that bad.
I know that our school is very good about COVID rules and we're pretty safe, so I'm definitely very trusting in the school to keep everyone safe.
There's also relief for the construction industry, which is reopened following a 2-week pause. Tradies will need to have had at least their first dose of a COVID vaccine and adhere to strict COVID rules. The catalyst for the shutdown was violent protests involving workers who opposed mandatory vaccines. A large amount of COVID cases were linked to work sites and there were reports of non-compliance.
For the most part, our industry has been doing the right thing and we want it to stay that way. And for those people that have been found to have not done the right thing, for them to be shut down, not our whole industry.
Julia Bradley, Sky News, Melbourne.